Good evening, everybody. We are back. Danny. How we doing?
Tune finished.
How we doing, Stu?
I'm being with two lovely ladies on a Saturday night. That's I can put up with Danny, but being with two lovely ladies, very nice. I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Well, there's only one lady in here, and that's Evie, mate. It's not me.
You're a lady as well, Jess.
Maybe in name.
Well, that's what I meant.
Well, I thought so. You're right, Danny. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. Hope you are.
I'm all right, mate. Evie, how we doing?
Good, yeah. It's nice to go into the weekend having, already played and won. It's great. Lovely feeling.
So, I'm just going to start with transfers before we get into any game and everybody's thoughts on Leeds' window. Start with you, Stu. Happy?
Well, to say that I were in the same category as Danny, and that I didn't think we were going to get anybody. So signing's a bonus for me. So yeah, overall happy. They want a lot of business from anyone really. So yeah, overall happy with signing. I think he'll make a big difference to us as well. I think I think he's one of these players where he'll fit into Leeds like a glove to water, and Leeds fans will love him.
Danny?
He's got to get in team first, though. The way Archie.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Archie were great last night. More of a squad player, Danny, then, for you.
Yeah.
But a nice option to have at right back for me, personally.
Yeah, nice squad player to have to come in.
Evie?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great when we've got, obviously we've got the replay, and say if we win if we win our game against Plymouth in the FA Cup, then we're going to have another game to fit in with the 5th round. So I think it's great to have that rotation. Just means that we can protect Archie, even if by protecting him, it means that we move him to replace Kamara in midfield instead, so that, we can just have some sort of rotation, because I don't know if any of you noticed, but I thought Kamara looked a bit leggy yesterday. So for me, I hope Roberts comes in. Is Roberts cup tied?
He can't play because he wasn't registered. Well, he wasn't playing for Leeds in the first time.
Yes, because it's a replay. Yeah, so in that case, that scuppers my whole next point, which was I would play him on Tuesday, but maybe I would play him next weekend then instead against Rotherham, and maybe give Kamara a rest and move Gray into midfield for that game, because Kamara looked leggy for me. I think he needs a bit of a rest. So yeah, I would have loved more. I said that the other night, but I think he's a good player. He's really good. He got, in player of the season last year, in the championship. So, team of the season last year. So I think he's a really good option, and I really like his attitude. And obviously the rest of the Wales lads will have sold him Leeds as well. So I think it makes it much easier for like the chemistry, both on and off the pitch. So I think he's a really good signing. I think he's an astute bit of business. He's only costing us his wages. It's not costing us any different. And also, if we go up, we're not lumbered with having to buy him. So we don't. And if we don't go up, we're also not lumbered in with having to buy him. So I think that's really good business. I'm happy with it. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it's a nice option to have. And also, Leeds have done some really good business in outgoings for me. Some players that Pervader, that's a good move for him. Ayling's another good one. And it's all wages off at books for me. And in players that you would have said were dead wood at Leeds. There's nobody really gone that you'd say were a loss. So I think I'm in both sides, even though I'd like to have seen being greedy, maybe another one or two come in, we've got enough in that first 11 for me to get top 2. And I'm just going to go into some results that have gone our way today. Ipswich losing. Are the wheels falling off a little bit, maybe?
Yeah,
Stu?
I think so.
I think so as well. I do. I think so. I don't think they've fully recovered from that Leeds strumming, if I'm honest.
Evie?
No, it's nice to be like the unpicking of somebody, because obviously when you look, I know you'll go into it in a second, Jess, but when you look at Southampton, we started their unbeaten run. You know, we were the first game of their unbeaten run. So it's nice to be the unpicking of another team instead of the making of another team. So yeah, it was touch and go because obviously they got 2 back in the second half. So it was quite tetchy. I thought Ipswich were going to do an Ipswich and get a last minute draw. So I was very, very happy with Preston, you know, the dirtiest team in the league, essentially, to get a win. I was very, very grateful for that. So yeah, no, really good result for us. And they now have to win their next game in order for us to go forth. So even though they've got a game in hand, they have to win it in order to go above us, because even if they get a draw, our goal difference is better, so we would stay in third. So that's really good. You know, that's the whole point of getting that result on Friday, means it's doing what we wanted it to do. It's putting the pressure, and now, you know, I think the pressure is maybe getting too much for them. You know, they obviously, you know, Kiefer Moore scored on his opening game, you know, brilliant. And if we'd have got him in, you know, I'd have been fine with that as well. Just another person, you know, who, and it would have also meant that we'd have had a Welsh player essentially at the front, the middle, and the back. So, you know, we really would have been, you know, Wales FC. But yeah, you know, that's fine. It's probably, Kiefer Moore is probably, you know, he's like a championship plus player. You know, he's almost too good for the championship, but not good enough for the Premier League, really. So yeah, I'm just pleased that they lost. You know, that really gives us the momentum, and you know, you're not telling me that Daniel Farke won't be looking at the players now and saying, look, this is why I told you to be patient. This is why it's a long season, and some of these teams have gone too early. So it's nice to see that, you know, regardless, Ipswich have done amazing. Whether they get top 2 or not, they're going to get playoffs. So to go from League One and go straight into the playoffs and have such an incredible season, you know, hats off to it's McKenna, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ipswich's manager. Yeah, hats off to him for that. It's also incredible to see that there'll be multiple managers that could get manager of the season, really, if you think about it. All the top 4 managers have done brilliantly. I would probably say actually Leicester's manager has the lowest chance of being the winner of manager of the season, because let's face it, he's got half, 3/4 of a Premier League mid-table team. So if you don't win the league with those kind of players, then you are a bad manager, essentially.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Totally agree with you. I think if Ipswich got in playoffs and they don't get up automatic, that's still a good season for them. They've come straight from League One, so there's no sniffs there. But Southampton don't seem to be stopping. I know it was only 2-0 today, but it's still a 2-0 win. It's them we've got to watch for me now, not Ipswich.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, but us four could have beaten Rotherham.
Well, that is true. That's what I'm saying. I know it's only a 2-0 win, but they've still got 3 points on board.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah,
that was 2 points dropped for us when we went there.
Exactly.
They've got some hard games coming up. They've got to play Ipswich. They've got to play West Brom. They've got to play Leicester.
And I think Ipswich next game is West Brom.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, West Brom.
Come on, Coburn.
I mean, Leicester's just away with it for me. You know, cracking 5-0 win today, you know, again.
I don't see how now with the amount of games and the swing that we would need, you know, we need them to lose 4 games and we need to win 4 games to even, and then their goal difference is still better than ours. So yes, it would take a hammering, but you know, they've just scored 4 today, kind of thing. So I just don't see them losing 4 games in the remainder of the season. Now, had they have sold Dewsbury Hall, completely different scenario. Because even when he doesn't score, he's still the playmaker in the middle. He's still their drive in the middle. And so much, you know, it's a bit like Rutter for us. he's not our main goal scorer, but most of our goals at some point come through him. You know, he sees the key pass. You know, he often gets like the assist to the assist, does Rutter. And Dewsbury Hall is a similar type of, you know, engine in the middle. So, but I think now that they've kept him, I think they win the league. As much as it pains me to say it, I think that's gone, but I don't think top two is out of the equation for any of the three of us now. I think it really is a 3-horse race for that, and it's looking more likely a 2-horse race between us and Southampton, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Stu?
Yeah, the only thing what really, you know, when you see these scores like Southampton winning 2-0, Leicester winning 4-0, it'd be nice if Leeds could do something like that. You know, it's the only gripe I've got with this team, because we create the chances, we just don't seem to. Is it a run of luck we don't have? Is it because keep being in right place at right time, or is it a case of the strikers not being quite good enough to get 2 or 3 goals per game? I mean, I'd love it if we could just have a nice, comfortable 3-0 win against a team, you know, rather than having 1-0 against.
Nail
You
biting.
know,
Like this.
1-0 win, yeah.
It's not. We're not clinical enough, Stu, for me at times.
Oh, it's annoying.
But if
I've
we
got
scrape 1-0 ones every game and we keep a clean sheet, I'm still happy with that. You are, Evie? Sorry.
yeah. I've got a nice little stat actually to do with scoring. So Leeds shots that we've had this season, we've had the most shots at goal in the entire league. We've had 627 shots at goal. Now, the next nearest, I think, is Sunderland. Yeah, Sunderland with 594. So we've had 33 more attempts on goal than the next nearest person, the next nearest team. And if our conversion rate is 8.3%, so we've scored 52 goals out of 627 shots. So our conversion rate is 8.3%. Now, Leicester's conversion rate is 11.5%. And if we had the same conversion rate as Leicester, we would have scored 72 goals. Now, Farker said you need 75 goals on average to win the league or to be in the top 2 to get automatic promotion. So if we'd have just upped by literally a couple of percent, then we would be already ahead of Leicester. If we'd have taken those, because of the amount of creativity, the amount of flair, but it's our lack of that clinical edge that is literally killing our chances of automatic promotion. It's not like Leicester have got 20% conversion rate. You know, they've got 11.5 and we've got 8.3. So it's literally 3% that is meaning it that we're not in those top 2 spots. So our defense is doing their job, but the attackers aren't actually being as effective as they should be. And, you know, if I was Daniel Farke, I'd be getting them doing, you know, just shooting at the net like day after day after day, so that they just understand how to actually, you know, Somerville yesterday was trying to walk the ball into the net kind of thing, and then getting crowded out by like 5 players. So we just need to just take more shots take more accurate shots, you know, get into better positions. Don't try and walk the ball. I want shots from outside of the box kind of thing. You know, that's what we're missing. When we got promoted, we had players who could shoot. You know, that's how you break down a low block, which I know Richard was really stressed out over the other day, that we couldn't break a low block. And that's what we need to do, is we need to take more shots out of the box. So
yeah, no, I agree. I think that's for me where I'm just a little bit disappointed in window that we just didn't go out and get another number 9, you know, just something else. Because I think, although Bamford had a good game yesterday, I'm not slating the guy, he looked a bit leggy towards end for me.
yeah,
and there's not much on that bench other than Perot. There's not. See, I'd have rather brought Joseph on and give Joseph 20 minutes yesterday, because Bamford, for me, you know, that were a lovely dummy foot goal. You know, he did play well, but he did look tired 70 minutes in, and I would have liked to have seen Joseph come on. He don't fill me full of joy bringing Perot on, but for me, another attacker would have been nice. So the bench looks a bit thin at the minute, doesn't it? To be honest, regarding options in general for Leeds.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point, really. But I suppose you've got to look at it as Bielsa didn't have a great bench either,
True.
you know, and we've still probably got a better bench than Bielsa had in theory.
I think so. I think so.
So if Bielsa can do it, and I know Bielsa is a different class in terms of manager and how he actually turned, players that were mid-table, lower end table championship players into ninth place Premier League players. And that's something that probably will never be repeated again. But I do think that we've got a stronger team, but we seem to have a lot more of the same players. Like we've got really good wingers, we've got quite a decent midfield, but not an attacking midfield. We've got a brilliant sturdy midfield, but not a creative midfield. I know I always end up mentioning him, but we don't have a Pablo, we don't even have a Click. Somebody who can take that shot from 20-30 yards out, and all of a sudden, because all you need is that one goal, and then that, if you 40 minutes of a low block against you, you have that person who can just, shoot from 20-30 yards out. You've unlocked them. They have to come out, and then because of how good our press is and our counter press, we then go score 3-4 more. But it's getting that first goal that seems to be the issue, especially away from home.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thoughts on yesterday's game, Danny? Just in general? Danny there?
I'm here.
Come on then. Come on down.
Right, well, what were you talking about before the internet decided to go and blink?
I was just on about promotion and players in general, under Belize and what we've got now. But just your thoughts on game yesterday in general, mate.
I think we bossed it from start to finish. I didn't even think we looked like we were going to concede at all. Yeah, I think we bossed that from start to finish.
Yeah. Stu?
Yeah, look, we did look in any danger, did we? And we get a goal, and then I just think, what do I say? We wasn't put under any pressure. I don't think yesterday. I think they had one shot on target all game, one shot on target. And that's not gonna. So backing up Danny, yeah, I agree with Danny. We were in control of it. It were a professional performance. We did what we had to do. We got the win, and then 3 points. Move on.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Ava?
Yeah, it's still always nerve-wracking. Obviously, my nerves settled a little bit when Willie got his goal, but we've seen this game before quite a few times this season where it's all us, the whole game, it's all us. And then they get a silly goal. We give away a free kick in a dangerous area, a corner that we don't, deal with properly. And then all they have to do is defend for the rest of the time. And then we're back to square one of not being able to break down a low block, and so.
What made me laugh yesterday is Evie was in Joe's chat and she goes, getting on to offer and replace him, and then he comes out in second half and scores.
I know. And then to be fair, I did I did then say, or maybe swap sides, maybe put Somerville on the right and Nonto on the left, which they kind of did because the goal did come down the left-hand side, and that is where he tucked in from and got the goal. He came kind of through the middle and then from the left-hand side of the box. But
yeah, Joe
fair enough. That's what. Oh, I know. But that's why I'm not a manager. That's why I'm just a fan, and that's why I can make ridiculous statements and stuff, because I'm just a fan. I don't get paid to know how to deal with these players. I get frustrated because we've seen this game, like I said, so many times this season, that I just want to kind of, slap everybody up a little bit and just say, please, can we just score? That's, so we're allowed to get frustrated, and I will happily, and to be honest, I said to my husband last night, I said, it feels like this is the actual fresh start for Nonto now. Like the fans were singing his name, obviously Somerville and Rutter were getting him right up there at the end, kind of thing, to do the whole, like way at the end of the game, with Rutter. So it just now feels that this is kind of, maybe this is the start of his season after the chaos of the summer.
This is what I'm saying when people say they won't have Cine back because what he did. Look what Nonto's done, and fans have taken him back. I could guarantee if Cine come back, scored 10 goals and got us promoted, fans would be singing his name.
No,
sorry, Danny.
Absolutely not.
Stu?
I guarantee it.
No,
I would never take him back. I wouldn't take him back. I wouldn't take Harrison back. I wouldn't take any of them back. I wouldn't take him because
I agree.
If you don't want to help get people out of the shit when you were the ones that caused it, like, it's not Leeds' fault. It's not the fans' fault that Cine's made of biscuits. It's not Leeds' fault, not our fault that he didn't know how to pass to somebody, and he's a winger with 0 assists, or 1. Is it 0? I think he got no assists last year and it was just 5 goals. So no, I wouldn't take him back, because also I think it upsets the harmony. We've got a really good bunch of players, and why would you upset that? Nonto's stayed there, has taken his punishment and has taken the exile, has gone down the tunnel at the end and accepted the kind of shunning from the fans for months, literally 6 months now. And he's done that, whereas Cine's, was there waving and taking pictures with fans whilst he was threatening to sue the club. Like, Stu and Jess have had to listen to my Cine rants before. But I don't want any of them back, and he doesn't want to be here. We don't want him here. Why would we pay? There's no guarantee that he's going to remain fit. He's been injury prone all of his professional career. So why do we want that? If we complain about Bamford, and Bamford also didn't go, Bamford wasn't kicking up a fuss wanting to go either. So you can't have it both ways. We can't have a go at Bamford for one thing and then accept Cine back.
No,
for me.
I'm not saying we'd accept him back. I'm saying if he came back, the fans in the ground would sing his name. If he scored 10 goals and got us up.
When you've got a CEO who goes on a podcast and says you're not on the club's Christmas card list, you can't come back to that club, because the CEO of the club has publicly outed you and has said, essentially, we don't want you. So,
I don't think he is on many people's Christmas card list, though, is he?
No, I don't even think. I think he's only maybe starting to be on Bournemouth's list right now, and he's been there for half a season. But yeah, say that again.
Said Angus Kinnear isn't on many people's Christmas card list neither.
Oh, right, sorry. Well, no, to be fair, but at least he had the guts to come up, go on the square ball and own up to it. A very awkward and difficult thing to do. He's not a dumb man. He knows that they didn't do well by us the last 2 years. So to come on and admit to it, fair enough. I have more respect for people that will own up to their mistakes, even if it's too late to do anything about them. But yeah.
But come on, Evie, I've been supporting Leeds for 42 years. How old are you?
I knew it was. Here, you can add yourself back in a minute. Red card, Danny. Get off, sin bin. Put your dick cooler.
I had to get it in.
Love it.
On a serious note, I'm in total agreement with Evie. I'm in total agreement with it. You can't threaten to sue a club that employs you.
No, I'm not saying
I've walked
if he
Leeds
came back.
United. I've walked people in offices trying the damnedest to find you a club wasting our resources because he wanted out and then to bring him back in again.
It's carnage.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want him back. I'm saying if he came back for some reason and he scored 10 goals and got us promoted, the fans in the ground would sing his name.
I don't know. I think it turned. The thing is like Ellen Road has gone really quiet. It's like the entire crowd has got the PTSD of relegation and also now the expectation and nerves of promotion. So it's not as loud as you would want it to be. And I think that we're only just starting to feel a bit of kind of positivity around everything. You bring somebody like that who was, he was one of the reasons why we got relegated. For as much as, Bamford missing the penalty and things was a part of it. Cine being injured for half a season after spending 20 odd million on him is part of the reason that we got relegated. So all of those players should have stayed. Now, I understand for their careers, I understand that they had it written in their contract and fine, whatever. But don't expect the fans to take you back if it doesn't work out for you. And I can understand your point, Danny. I genuinely can, because the fans are a lot more supportive in the ground than they are online. Even like with Bamford, when Bamford's been getting shit online, the fans in the stadium don't often turn on him. They still sing his name. So, you do make a good point with that. But I just think that the anger would boil over. Bamford has been frustrating, but he's never damaged the club. He's never done anything to the point where he's been two-faced and threatened to sue the club. And also, he does have far, we've got far better memories of Bamford than we do in Sinisterra. Sinisterra was fit for half of a season in a season where we got relegated. It's not exactly going to be attached with a lot of positive memories. So I don't think the fans would be as supportive of him. I do agree that I think maybe some of the fans in the stadium would sing him, but nobody really sang about any of them last season, because nobody liked, by the end of the year, did we really like our team last season? We love our club, but I don't think we really liked our team.
Did we have a team? Yeah, I'm going to say. There wasn't much to like about that team. Did we have a team to like? No, and we didn't have much of a team to like. So Bamford, for me, yeah, I know what you're going to say, performance, injuries, missing penalties, but that's completely different to what Sinisterra did. And left it right till last minute. Instead of saying it, being up, not like Evie says, stood outside signing pictures for kids, and then 3 hours later you're on your way down to Tin Pot Stadium and signing there for the season when you could have stayed at Leeds, like Somerville has, and like Rooter has, and come good and turn the fans round. Even Wilfred Nonto, to a certain extent, yes, what he did was wrong, but he was ill-advised, and he was a kid at 19. That we've all done things at 19 where we're wrong. He were ill-advised, and he's had to sit and bide his time, and he's took a lot of shit on bench as well, and from fans as well. And yesterday, you could see the relief on him scoring. So for me, Wilfred Nonto deserves another chance. Sinisterra for me, it's a no from me, Carol. Sorry.
Right, let's get on to something else anyway now. Something brought up, it's gone on too long as well.
We've just proved you wrong, Danny. Would you have him back, Danny? Honestly, as a fan, would you have him
I would say I do not want him back, but what I was saying is if he came back and scored 10 goals and got us promoted, that crowd in that stadium would sing his name. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I don't disagree, because the crowd in the stadium are completely different to the fans online. So for that point, I know that you're not saying that you want him back. I agree with you. I think that's not a bad assessment of what would happen, because we are fickle, but I'm also incredibly stubborn, and I don't like disloyalty in terms of when you are paid to do, you're paid thousands, hundreds of thousands, border on millions to kick a bag of wind around. Like, how privileged are you? So many people grow up wanting to do that and never have the opportunity to actually do it, at a high level. And you're there, playing, doing everybody's, all these kids' dreams, and you just go and literally spit in the fans' faces. No, thank you. I'd rather, and this is why I would have never got rid of Dan James in the first place.
Let's get off of Sinister anyway. I'm sure we've got something else better to talk about.
No, you're not getting like Richard, are you, Danny?
No, but
I have got a question, though,
But then
genuine question.
Go on, Stu.
Genuine question, and I'm not trying to wind nobody up, I promise. But Leeds get promoted, right? These players, they can't go out on loan again because we'll get promoted. So what happens to them if we can't sell them? What action do we rip the contracts up, or do we keep them?
it depends because how many of them there is that if we don't sell them, it could be too much money to rip the contracts up. So they'd have to stay at the club.
I think we sell Rocker because Rocker's doing all right. We sell Verba because Verba's doing all right. Cox out of contract, so that's fine. Cine, if he carries on the way he is at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are still up, which they will be because it's going to be Sheffield, probably Burnley, and then between Luton, Everton, maybe even Brentford, who go down. Or Forest, yeah, that's a good point, especially if they get points deduction. But so Bournemouth will be in the Premier League next season. Like that's borderline certain at this point. So if we go up, we can either sell him to Bournemouth. We've already got a deal in principle if we didn't go back up, or he goes somewhere else. As long as he's getting game time and doing well, we can get our money back for him. So you sell him. Jack Harrison got a goal today, although it shouldn't really have been his goal. It should have been Calvert-Lewin's goal, but he got a goal today with Everton, so he's doing all right. Obviously, if we get up, I don't think Everton could afford him because we could sell him for whatever the hell we like at that point. And Jack Harrison, I think, is the only one who's got another loan clause in his contract. So if we don't go up, then he would go out on loan anyway. Brendan Aronson and Rasmus are your biggest question marks, and I think we just send them out on loan again. I don't think they come back. I think we just loan them out again.
No, most of them. If we don't get promoted, all the ones that are on loan now can go back out on loan again.
No, Phil Hay said it was only Jack Harrison that had that.
I don't know. Then
it was only Jack Harrison that had the loan release clause for both this year and another year as well. I don't know if it goes any further than that, but he's the only one for definite that can go out on loan again.
That's what I'm saying. So if we bring them back and then we can't get them back out on loan, nobody wants them, and we can't get with the contract.
Somebody will want them. Somebody will want them.
Australia League or something.
Jesse Marsh.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, let him have them.
Yeah, Saudi. Yeah, send them over to Saudi.
Yeah, he can have them.
Yeah, get a tan, and his girlfriend can take lots of pretty pictures.
Yeah, as long as they pay the wages, I ain't bothered.
Yeah, no.
So it's a no from everyone then.
Yeah, none of them are coming back, regardless of whether we go up or stay down. So we just sell the ones that we can, which will be Cine, Verba, and Harrison. Cock will be gone, and Rocker, sell him as well, and then loan out Aronson and Rasmus again, and that's it. And I can see, unfortunately, which is not great for finances, but I can see them. Oh yeah, Lorente as well. I've forgotten about him. Well, you never know. Hopefully, PSG will have money to spend in the summer, and they'll come in for him. Apparently, like they were trying to do in this window.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hopefully we'll just get rid of it. We're just in a lot powerful position if we're back up in the Premier League. It's on our terms. Yes, he was an outright sale to Bournemouth, and we got a much better deal of that, considering he's played about 45 minutes football for him. So, yeah, I think that none of them, we'll never see any of them again in terms of actually playing for us. You know, I can see Aronson and Rasmus being a bit like Helder Costa and Paveda in terms of going out on loan, basically until the contracts run out. I know obviously Paveda's come back this season, but before that he's just gone out on loan. So I think that will be the case.
What happens if they come back and Farker wants to use them and likes them?
I think he's too principled to take them back. I think he's like Bielsa in that respect of, if you didn't want to play with us while we were down, I don't want you.
Well, I don't know. I think he might use Aronson.
I wouldn't want him back.
I know. I don't want him back, but I think if he came back, Farker would use him.
The only thing I'd say about that, Danny, is Farker were here when these players were here, then went. So he's going to really, he's going to. I don't think he'll want their characters. I don't. They could be best footballers in the world, but he will want them as they, the mentality shows a lot about them when they do something like that. And I just can't see Farker entertaining any of them. I really can't.
Well, moving towards Plymouth. Danny, not bothered if we lose?
I hope we get beat.
Not fussed?
No.
Stu?
Look, you don't ever want to see a team lose, throw games at all, but if it does it, again, it's because we don't seem to make the changes what I thought we were going to make. Yeah, I'm happy to go out at cup at this stage. I really am.
Evie?
I think unless it's a comfortable win in the first half, as in like 3-0 in the first half, I want us to go out. I either want us to win so that we can bring on even more fringe players, kind of thing, and just rest as many legs as possible. I certainly don't want an Accrington Stanley game where we bring on our best players and they get injured and then are out for several games. But if we can win, I don't know, I'm a little bit greedy maybe. I just think winning breeds winning. Look at Leicester, they won in the FA Cup. They won. I think the problem is I want to either, if we win, I want Chelsea to have beaten Villa. I don't want to play Villa because I think if we play Villa, we get thrashed. But I genuinely think if we play Chelsea, I think we have more of a chance against Chelsea than we do against Villa. So.
Yeah, but it's like saying winning breeds winning. But if we go into that game and he plays half a squad and half a youngsters or whatever, but half that squad gets injured, we're knackered.
But you could do that in any game, though, couldn't you? What if we go and play? What if we go out, nobody gets injured on Tuesday, and then everybody gets injured at the weekend?
That's why I'd stick the under-21s in for the Plymouth game.
I wouldn't deliberately throw it because I think that breeds an attitude that Farker thinks if you chuck all the under-21s in, that is Farker almost saying to the under-21s, I don't think you're good enough, so I think you're going to lose this game. So that's why I'm using you, because we need to lose this game.
I want to lose it anyway.
The only thing that I would say as well about it is obviously the further you get, the more money you get. So from a profit and sustainability factor, it is actually good if we do have a bit of a cup run.
For winning the FA Cup, you get about 70 grand.
For winning it?
Yeah.
It's got to be more than that, surely.
About 70 grand on a place in Europe.
Stu, have a look and see how much you get for winning FA Cup.
I'll let you know now. But even but again,
It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, it's got to be. Surely, I would think maybe like.
I think they say you get more from TV rights and revenues and stuff than you do actually winning the cup itself.
Winning the 22-23 is £2 million.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a little bit better, isn't it?
I was going to say.
how much of that is TV rights? How much of that is thing? And how much of that is just for winning the cup itself?
Yeah, but we would get more because everybody loves watching Leeds. So therefore, our cup game, more of our games will be on TV the later that we get in, especially.
Yeah, the Leeds Chelsea. The Leeds Chelsea will be on TV if we get through.
The Leeds Plymouth game, I think, is on TV. I think this replay is on TV.
On BBC One.
So if we're on TV in a replay in the fourth round, then the further you go up, we're going to get more money for TV rights as well. So therefore, it's worth staying in it, because if we don't go up, and it's for the simple fact of Southampton just don't stop this winning streak, and then Leeds don't win in the playoffs, we've got to think of the finances of next year, especially because we won't be able to sell Harrison because he's got another loan deal. We'll have to get rid of Nonto, Somerville and Rutter. We won't have Rodon, so we'll have to get replacement in for him. We won't have Roberts. We won't have Anthony. All of this extra revenue comes in massive for preparation if we don't go up. I know nobody wants to think about that, but the 49ers do have to think about that. So I think a cup run is also good for profit and sustainability as well.
Talking about getting bringing money in, we didn't get note from McGurk though. Last minute window when he went to Swindon, I think he went on a free transfer. Sean McGurk.
See, I like McGurk. I'd like to see him play.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was a shock to me, letting him go. That was a shock.
Evie's checking now.
I'm not looking at the McGurk one. So for winning the third round alone, we got 105,000.
Right.
So
I must have read something where just for winning the cup itself, not the TV rights and stuff. You know what I mean? It was like something like it might have been 170 grand instead of 70 grand. You know what I mean?
Well, according to figures,
these are the on the Emirates website. Even for getting the preliminary round, so that's 208 clubs get £1,000, and then obviously it goes down and goes down. If we win this game, we get another 120,000, so that's 225 grand for
I don't know what
2 rounds.
Something to do with FA Cup, unless it must have been.
Maybe it was the Carabao Cup.
Maybe it was Carabao Cup, yeah. Because I know that you're right on that kind of money, Danny. You are bang on the money about Carabao Cup. I can say that much because I know it's not worth a lot to Liverpool even getting to the final. I can tell you that.
No, it's just the silverware that's worth more than the actual money kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think the FA. I think if you win the Liverpool and Chelsea, the winner gets £1 million. That's just for the final, and the runner-up gets. Winner gets 2 million. The runner-up gets £1 million.
It's not a lot,
that's
is it?
just for the final.
What's that FA Cup?
Yeah.
For Leeds, yeah, for Leeds, definitely, absolutely. See, I won't mind us winning on Tuesday.
2 million if we're in the Championship is a lot of money. You know, like £2 million is a lot. You know, so I'm just thinking.
Imagine not going up, winning FA Cup and playing in Europe.
I know, it'd be so Leeds.
Be nice. See, I want us to win on Tuesday. I won't lie. I'd like to see us get an away draw at either Villa or Chelsea. I'd rather have Chelsea. I won't lie, because me and Stu did watch Long of a Day and Chelsea were quite poor.
There's another thing about winning that game as well, Jess. If you beat Plymouth in Cup away down at their ground, you're going to put doubts in their minds when it comes to actually 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks later we play them actually down at their ground in league as well?
Yeah.
So you're going to set the seed of putting doubts in their mind that they can't beat us. So yeah, it might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see us go through it. I'm going to just go around and ask everybody score predictions. Stu, for Plymouth game?
Yeah. I think it's going to be close because I think Plymouth are a better side down at their ground. 2-1 Leeds.
Evie?
I was going to go for 2-1 as well because that's what we beat them at home. We got cocky in the second half, and it was very touchy near the end. So I think away at their ground, I think yeah, 2-1.
Danny?
2-1 Plymouth.
And I'm going to go 3-2 Leeds. 3-2 Leeds. And then we've got a massive game at home next week. Rotherham. Thoughts going into Rotherham? But it's massive to Leeds, Danny, because we need the 3 points. And so do Rotherham, to be fair, with what's happened today, going down towards bottom half at table. Huddersfield got a real good win today. For 4-0, I think it was, against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yep.
Wednesday got pasted, didn't they?
QPR won, I think. I believe it was still 2-1 at the time. So, and Rotherham, believe it or not, got a really crap. We drew against them, didn't we? So you have to go in and respect them with some, don't want to go in arrogant and think, oh, yeah, we'll piss them. Because that complacency sets in. But do you see Robert starting next week, Danny?
No.
No?
I don't see him starting for a couple of weeks. Even if he does start at all.
Stu?
No, I don't think Roberts will start.
Evie?
I think he'll start, and I think Gray will go to midfield.
No, I don't think he starts at all. Gray's keeping him out at a minute.
No, I'm not. But I'm not saying I would drop Gray. I'd drop Kamara. So Gray stays in, and we then get Gray in midfield. I want to see him more in midfield. We haven't seen him in midfield since the cup game, and he was amazing in that cup game. I'm not saying he's not amazing at right back. He's doing a really good job at right back. I thought he was phenomenal yesterday. Oh, his ballerina feet in as well in their box when he was just like, it was beautiful. Honestly, it was, I felt like a very proud mum watching him kind of thing. It was fantastic. He was ridiculing them without being derogatory kind of thing, just dancing around them, making them look like prats. It was brilliant. But I don't think he comes in for he can't come in for the cup game, like you said. He wasn't on the team. But I think he comes in, and I think Gray moves to midfield, and I think Kamara has a rest.
How long is it between the Plymouth and the Rotherham game?
Is it Saturday we're playing?
Saturday, 3 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's 4 days then. Kamara might be all right with a rest after that if he don't play Plymouth game.
Yeah, I think it depends. It depends, who plays in the Plymouth game as to what happens with Rotherham.
If he plays in the Plymouth game, then Roberts won't be on Rotherham game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. If he doesn't play Kamara, but I also think a change is as good as a rest for Archie. He seems to be refreshed when you move in positions. He seems to be refreshed.
I'd stick Shackleton at right back. Or Byram at right back.
It was weird, don't you think, seeing Byram at right back yesterday at the end of the game? I was like, hang on, Firpo's still on the pitch. Is Firpo in midfield? And it was like, no, he's actually playing a right back. Right, a right back is playing in a right back position. What the hell's going on?
Because Shackleton, even for 20 minutes, can do a job at right back or left back if we need him anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, you could play Byram at right back for the cup game.
Do you see him making many changes? Because you know what he's like? He'll only make maybe a top, say, 5 or 6.
I can see Joseph starting.
I would like to see that.
As well.
Yeah, Perot will start. Yeah, good call there, Stu.
I can see Joseph starting at number 9 and Perot at 10.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was.
We just lack that creative number 10, don't we, when Rutter's not on the pitch. And the thing that Rutter doesn't have, that obviously usually a number 10 has, is the ability to shoot from outside the box. You know, that's
See that one that he missed yesterday? That would have
Yeah.
been Bamford being shot.
No, I think people are easing up a little bit on Bamford. Because he's playing well, even though he didn't, like you said, Jess, I think that even though he didn't, he wasn't kind of mesmerizing or anything yesterday, he was still doing well. But I just think he needs a bit of a rest. This is probably the most football he's played consistently for
he
3 years.
Bamford won himself ragged yesterday, even though he didn't
Yeah.
score. He was all over the place. Does anybody think we won James yesterday?
Oh, I thought not had a good game, Danny. But when Dan James does come back, he gets back straight into the team for me, Danny.
Yeah, same with me.
I missed him. I think we really missed him, and I know obviously Joe didn't agree, but I just thought until the second half was different because we seemed really just on it. Like he'd maybe given him a little bit of a bollocking at half time kind of thing. We just seemed on it for the first kind of 15, 20 minutes. Like we could have scored 5 or 6. Obviously we didn't because we're Leeds, but I do think that Dan James puts the afterburners on, and at times Bamford was having to be a winger, and then he wasn't in his position because he was having to do a lot more running. He didn't get the service yesterday, I don't think. Dan James's crosses create, he gets a lot of service from Dan James, and I think we've missed that.
If we'd have had Dan James on that run that Bamford did when he took it up the wing and then went into the box and tried side-footing it into Nonto, I think if we'd have had Dan James there, Bamford drops back, James lays it off, and that's a goal.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I think he offers so much more than we actually give him credit for. We give Somerville a lot of credit and we give Nonto a lot of credit, but I don't think Dan James gets the credit that he really deserves because, Somerville and Nonto are both kind of flair players. They're very exciting and they've got a lot of trickery, whereas Dan James has got speed and now he's got actual good aim kind of thing that we don't maybe give him the credit as to how good he has been for us this season. He's got 17 goal contributions this season. So, he's a massive part of why we are where we are in the table now. And Nonto, obviously, he's got to get match fitness though as well. Maybe Nonto, because I remember Nonto last year being rapid down the wings, like really rapid. Maybe not Dan James, because I don't think there's many players that can run as fast as Dan James, but I do remember him being rapid, and he looked tired from maybe about 70 minutes yesterday. Like his legs had kind of gone. He hadn't done that much running. And to be fair, to give Nonto credit as well, he was doing a lot of defensive work yesterday, which I always scrutinise him for because Dan James defends much better than probably any of our wingers. Somerville's much better than he was, but I still think Dan James is our best defensively minded winger, if that makes sense, just because of his speed.
I don't know if you've noticed as well lately that when the wingers are tracking back, it's only the right-hand side. They leave Somerville that little bit extra further up. You see, now if that were me, I'd leave James further up because he's quicker.
But I suppose he can make that recovery run back up, whereas Somerville's not as fast. Now, I do agree with you in the fact, but my reason for getting Somerville to come further back is Firpo, because I thought Firpo was a little bit dodgy yesterday. He gave away a few free kicks in potential. Had that have been a better team, I think we maybe, they maybe get an equalising goal at some point during the game because of the area that he gave away the free kicks in.
we can also counteract that though as well. If Somerville weren't as greedy yesterday,
Yeah. No, like I've massively had a go at our attacking players, especially Somerville. You know, I said yesterday that it was he had glue on his boots because he just would not let that ball go. There were so many passes where there was 2-3 other players that he could have passed to, and even got the return pass. I'm not saying that he had to give up the goal completely, but he seemed to narrow. It was like he was channeling his inner Jesse Marsh, because he just made the pitch go narrow, and all of the players just were like attracted to him, like some kind of, fly on shit kind of thing. And all of the players just kind of came towards him. And then if he releases that ball sooner to another player, there's 3 players going towards Somerville that aren't then defending our other attacking players. But he just held onto the ball too long, and then was forced into making a really the angles really tight for somebody else to even attempt to get the ball.
I've just been trying too hard. He was trying too hard yesterday.
Yeah,
Trying too much, trying to win the game on his own.
Yeah, he was. I think he's frustrated with himself. I don't think that's necessarily him trying to be selfish. I think he's frustrated that he hasn't had a goal in quite a few games now. He's had a couple of assists, but he hasn't actually had a goal for a few games. So I think he's a bit annoyed with himself maybe for not contributing more actual goals himself.
Yeah, because he sets very high standards, does Cree, and I think probably at last 4 or 5 games he just haven't been at his standards. I still played very well, but to Cree's standards, I think he's dipped a little bit. What do you think, Stu?
I agree. I think I think it might not be a bad thing if we give him a bit of a rest on Tuesday night when we play Plymouth. I think he could benefit from it, recharge his batteries, and go again.
Yeah, Jaden Anthony can come in and do a job for me there, like he did on the first game, Stu. I don't think that. I think.
But what about swapping, having Jaden Anthony on the right and having Nonto in his preferred left position on the Tuesday?
Yeah,
because
call.
I think he still needs minutes in his legs, in terms of, like, he hasn't played proper football really since the beginning of the season. So maybe he just needs swap him over now that he's got his goal out of the way, kind of thing. He might be cooking, and obviously Jaden Anthony got the goal in the first time of this game. So, you've got 2 wingers who have scored in our last 2 games. Why not give them a run out again together?
No, I agree. I do agree with that. I think the more minutes he gets, it benefits Leeds in this running towards the end of the season, because a fit Willie Nonto is a good Willie Nonto. I know he's took, should we say, a bit of flack as Willie, but if we can, I mean, just one question that I want to ask you guys. Last few days, I've been seeing a lot of negative comments about Daniel Farke, shall we just say. And I've always called him the GOAT. I think he's a very, very good manager at this level. But I just want to hear everybody's thoughts, just personal thoughts on Daniel Farke. Stu, start us off.
Well, look, I think he's the right man for the job. A lot of other managers would have walked with what he's had to deal with at the start of the season. I strongly believe that. And is it 3 promotions he's got in this championship?
2.
2.
Well, Leeds will be 3. So this will be his 3rd promotion, hopefully.
Yes, Lee. Yes, Stu. I love it.
No other manager has done that in this league. So look, I think it's brilliant. I think he breeds karma to the to fans as well when he talks as well. You know what I mean? He doesn't just rabbit on. He actually, if you listen to what he says, he does actually talk about what's important and what we understand him when he's saying something.
Danny?
I think it's been unbelievable hard.
Oh, Danny.
Oh, Danny.
No. It's some substitutions that get me out lately. That's all that bothers me.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But that is unbelievable hard when you ain't got a bench to. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Eva?
Yeah. I can't believe you went with that, George. That's tickled me. I think as well, if you look, we've got more points with a better goal difference than Bielsa did at this point when he won the league with us. What Farker can't, and what the 49ers can't predict, is the fact Leicester are on track to have a record-breaking season. Ipswich, obviously, until maybe this little blip, are still on track to have a record-breaking season in terms of get the most points for a newly promoted League One team. Southampton are on a record-breaking season. This is the first longest non-losing streak that their club have had in their entire history. You cannot prepare for 3 teams to have record-breaking seasons and for you to still be within touching distance. That's incredible. Like, I've had a go at Fark in terms of substitutions and the using of Pirro in a number 10 when Rutter was a much more natural fit with Bamford, or a better pressing striker up front. And those are my only things. And now he's got Rutter playing in the 10. I'm fine with that. So my only issue is the substitutions. But how can people have a go at him? Like,
he was a good.
Hey, I've always said you need a player of Bamford's characteristics. The only thing has been his illness, like injuries and all of that. But his characteristics are so hard to find. He is such a unique player. And even when we had Rodrigo scoring for fun last season, he still wasn't.
Yeah.
He didn't have the same qualities that Bamford has, and that's what makes him so frustrating. Is when he is in form, Bamford is one of the best. If you could arguably say, if he carried on his points, his goals per full games that he's played this season, he would be one of, if not the best striker in the league. But he hasn't been given all of that chance because he got injured during pre-season. Had he have carried on, had he carried on from pre-season and not got injured, maybe we wouldn't have had to wait until December or January, whenever it was, for Bamford and Rutter to be swapped round. So, but he's done that. He's realised his mistake, and I've got a lot of respect for people who realise their mistakes and admit to it and change it. So I think that anybody calling for Farker out or saying, like, people saying, oh, well, he's not going to be any good in the Premier League. We have to get there first. Like, he is the best manager available for this league that we are in. And I would have still picked him over Ipswich's manager, over Leicester's manager, over Southampton's manager. I would have still picked him, because I'm sorry, but you don't have to be a genius to work that you can win the league when you have Leicester's players. Their quality, like Jamie Vardy at this level, is still popping goals in for fun. And like, he's practically, got a Zimmer frame. So they've still got a brilliant team, to Leicester. So any manager, in theory, with those players should be able to win this league. Whereas with our players, a lot of them were absolutely, their mindset must have been so low after the last 2 seasons of almost relegation and then relegation, having all your teammates jump ship, new ownership, 4 managers last year, new manager this year. Like, he just deserves a lot more credit than the Leeds fans are giving him. And hopefully when we do go up, those same people will be able to admit that they were wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm willing to have a certain person on as well. And I hope that come end of season, we have gone up, and I don't care whether we go up second or the playoffs, and I can have a certain gentleman back on to say I was wrong. Because do you know what? Stuff that was said about Daniel Farke over there on this show was absolutely wrong. The guys come in with, like Evie and Danny and Stu have said, a lot of uncertainty at Leeds, and he's turned it round, and we're sat in 3rd position, not that far away. and these people are calling him a clown and he's a joke and that they want him out of Leeds and they want him replaced by certain other managers. Shake your head and give your head a good shake, because what this guy has done is fantastic. And I have my full belief that he will get us up this season. And I just want to go back to a question that were asked to Stu. Top two, Stu, or playoffs for you?
Realistically, playoffs.
You don't think we'll
I
do
just
top
think
two?
Leicester are going to win league. Southampton are going to finish second, and we're going to finish third. But I do think this squad's good enough, and I think we've got the right manager to go up through playoffs. I do think we'll get promoted.
Evie, top two or playoffs?
Now, if
I
you're
think she's got
talking
the same
about,
idea as I have. I think she's got the same idea as I have. She's resigned to
how,
playoffs, but anything like that is anything more is a bonus.
yeah, like I do have a feeling that how the table looks right this very second, first, second, third, fourth, will stay exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is out of our possibility. At the end of the day, there's a reason why this is a record-breaking season for Southampton specifically. There's a reason why they've never never not lost that many games before. They've broken that record, but how long can they keep that record going? You know, like look at Ipswich. The wheels are starting to come off. I'm not trying to dismiss Ipswich's achievements because they've been brilliant this season. Full credit to them, absolutely incredible. And if they get top two, wow, absolutely breathtaking. If they get playoffs, that's still absolutely amazing. So regardless, Ipswich have had a fantastic year. But the reality is, with the money that the top three teams, because we've been Premier League teams for more than 3 years, we have more money than, say, most up and down teams like your Norwiches, like your Watfords, you know, these teams who are always, you know, West Brom, in and around either playoffs, get promoted, get relegated, get promoted again. They don't have actually a lot of income because they only have one season worth of like full parachute payments, whereas we've got, you know, big parachute payments. But I think we can still do it. But I do think I said that we'd get playoffs before we kicked a ball this season. I said we'd get playoffs, and I was happy with that then because it was awful. Like the summer was awful. The big, you know, not knowing who was actually going to be playing from week to week, whether another person was going to leave, you know, all of this, it was awful. So if you'd have given me playoffs at the start of the season, I'd have bitten your hand off for it. I genuinely do think we can get top two, but I don't think that. I think Southampton's wheels have to fall off, and maybe they will. And maybe Nonto coming into form right now is the absolute perfect timing for us. It gives Dan James a chance to recuperate and fully get better, and we don't have to rush him back because Nonto's not performing. You know, so I think that there is a chance that we can get top two. In fact, no, I'm going to say it, top two.
Wow.
Wow.
Go on, Evie.
I'm going
I'm
to say
instantly regretting that.
no, I'm going to say top two. I think he'll do it. I really
Somebody
do.
clip
I
it
think
up.
we'll get top two. No, I genuinely do believe, Danny, that we'll get top two. Something tells me we're on a real good thing here. But what Gary says it at Watch Long Leeds, and I think Bandy says it. Do we win the league?
No.
No.
I don't think so either.
It'll be
I don't
unbelievable.
It'd be nice, but I don't think we'd do it. We'll do it. I really don't. You're banking on Leicester losing 4 games.
Yeah, I think if we were in touching distance, then I would hope that the players would think selflessly of how hard Daniel Farke has worked, because obviously he's currently got the joint record for having won the league twice. There's only one other manager, I can't remember his name off the top of my head,
Nick
but
McCarthy.
that's the one. So he would have that record himself. if we won the league. He would be the only manager to have won it 3 times. So
I'll apologise if I'm wrong, Gary. I'll give you that, mate. I will come on here and I will apologise, mate. But I honestly think top 2, yeah.
Why do you think I'm saying playoffs and not going up automatically? I'm covering my ass this time.
you're fed up of apologising.
Yep.
I genuinely don't think on this occasion, and I will backing Danny right up until 31st day. I'll tell you that they'll win it. I really don't think so. Yeah, I'd love to do it, but if we just get up top 2, that's all that matters to me. We don't have to worry about playoffs
Yeah.
and fire away.
One thing that I would say is being top 2 doesn't automatically mean that you're going to continue that form. Obviously, say Ipswich have continued their form from their winning season, but the difference between League One and the Championship is far less than it is from the Championship to the Premier League. Look at Burnley and Sheffield this year. They walked the league last year, absolutely walked it with their eyes wide shut, and now they're currently getting beaten 5. Sheffield are currently getting beaten 5-0. So like they've gone from being, which is why I actually think if we get up out of the 3 promoted teams, you can clip this up, I think we will do better than the other 2 teams, because I think we've had a rougher road. We've had to fight back. We've had losses that we shouldn't have had, but we've fought back. We haven't gone into massive ruts of losing, but we're also haven't got cocky with winning everything either, you know. And I think you need that mentality. You have to be able to take a loss and come back. Southampton haven't done that, and I think if Southampton lose once, they will lose multiple times, because they haven't lost since September. I think, I'm sure it's
Right,
September.
so you're saying top 2. So you're saying we're finishing second. Is that done before the Southampton game at end of season, or is it done on that day?
I fecking hope so, because I don't think whoever loses that game doesn't get promoted. So it doesn't win playoffs. So if it goes down to that game and we lose that game, I don't think we win playoffs. If it goes down to that game and obviously we win, then I don't think Southampton win playoffs either. I think that loss, being so close, being able to touch the Premier League and then having that taken away from you in 90 minutes will it'll mind feck with you, I think.
It will leave you anyway.
Oh, it will. I'm on holiday. I go on holiday that morning. So if we haven't won it by then, yeah, if we haven't won it by then, potentially my anniversary holiday with my husband might potentially just be ruined. So I either want us to already have automatics, or I want us to already know that we're in the playoffs.
Hey up, Mal. How you doing, pal? You're not old enough, mate.
I love that. I love
Mind
that.
you, though, how old are you? Are you old enough to go on holiday?
Yeah, just luckily my husband's older than me, so he counts as like my guardian. You know, he can vouch for me.
How do you get over that height restriction?
That's where I struggle. Yeah, I have to get one of those booster seats and things so that I fit with all of the regulations. I can't go on any roller coaster. I have to stand behind, a pillar so that he can go up to the bar and get me a drink. I have to drink it behind like some sort of bin and stuff like that.
And last one before I wrap this one up. Score predictions for Rotherham game on Saturday. Start with you, Stu.
I want to say a big score, big Rotherham out, all that. Do you know, dare I say 3-0 Leeds?
Evie.
I was going to say 3, so now I'm going to say 4. 4-0.
Danny?
6-0.
Don't you predict to win, Danny?
6-0.
6-0.
Oh, God, I can't believe Rotherham are going to beat us.
4-1 to Leeds. 4-1
You're
to
doing
Leeds.
a Huddersfield score.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-1. I'll give them credit for getting at least one. At least one. But considering the month we've had and all the negativity we've had in the last few days, things are a lot more positive for me.
Oh yeah.
We need to beat a team and need to beat a team easy. So that's why I'm going 6-0. I think it's Rotherham's. I think it's going to be Rotherham that's going to get it.
Well, they're like glued to the bottom, aren't they? I mean, the fact that they need 2 wins to even get above, well, to be above Sheffield Wednesday in 23rd. You know, they're getting relegated, aren't they? You know, there's no real doubt about that now. So what have they really got to play for?
Nothing. They might as well
Just
just
take
not
a
turn up.
beating. Yeah, if
Would you
they
say
just
it's a
say, look,
derby?
just take a 2-0, you know, I'd take, you know, rest everybody, you know, not have to play it, and we'll just accept a 2-0. That's fine.
Mm.
What you say, Stu?
It's a derby, isn't it? It's the Yorkshire derby.
I class
If
it
you
as one,
call it
yeah.
that, yeah.
It's a
You
derby
call
for
it.
Rotherham.
It's a derby for Rotherham.
It's their biggest game of the season, isn't it?
All the games have been their biggest game at season.
So by the time we've
Yeah.
come back on next week, we're predicting a loss and a win from Danny, 2 wins from Evie, 2 wins from Stu, and 2 wins from myself. What are you saying then? Plymouth and Rotherham. Plymouth's an FA Cup game. 2 wins, and you're going 2 wins. Right. We agree on something for a change. Right. Danny, do you want to tell people a little bit about yourself, where they can find you on socials and stuff?
Yeah, just look at West Yorkshire Police website. You'll find me.
Other than balaclavas, where can they find you?
I'm
Save that for
on.
tonight.
I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, stroke X, whatever you want to call it.
Evie,
I'm on. What on?
after you? Yeah, he's everywhere. He's Danny. He's everywhere.
Lurking in the bushes.
Yeah, lurking in the shadows with his balaclava.
Here, at least I couldn't hide in a set of bushes. I'm not small like you. You could probably hide under edge and get away with it.
Yeah, I'm there, you know, mixing with hedgehogs, just kind of, you know, cruising in really small spaces. There's
Five
plenty of
foot on a tab,
benefits. Yeah, well, exactly. There's plenty of positives about, you know, I can fit in all sorts of cupboards. You know, if somebody comes in trying to kill us, I'd be the first. They'd never find me. I'd be able to get in all sorts of small spaces.
Play hide and seek in house with kids. She's straight in cupboards. They're not finding her.
Yeah.
That's why she
No,
can
no,
get in
no.
10 to 11 age clothes, can Evie? Because she's that little.
I'm not small. I'm just vertically challenged. Is what we call it.
Yeah.
Catch Evie over at Discourse of Peacocks. If you want that in YouTube, go over to her, smash her a subscribe. Channel pending very, very soon, we hope.
I know there were a lot of people earlier on in Joe's asking when it started.
Oh, was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's as soon as my house is finished, so that I don't have people banging and clattering and stuff, because it's
Soon as that West Wing.
Yeah, when the West Wing is all sorted, then we have to start on the East Wing, and you know, that's when it gets real dicey.
Obviously, check Stu out over at Disabled Team as well. Lee Statham TV will be coming very soon, so put that in YouTube, Lee Statham TV, and check Lee out. Smash him a subscribe. It'd be much appreciated to help our Lee out. Missing him tonight, to be fair. Stu, I like his banter, and I'm looking forward to the watch along with him tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be back at 10 o'clock live tonight with the Over 18 show for all FBI Most Wanted. Will be on tonight. So if you want to check us out over at 10 o'clock, come over and come in. It'll be good for your mental health, if nothing else. We always have a bit of a laugh and a joke. I'll be back with Stu tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know if you'll pass the over 18. Might need to ask your ID, Evie. Evie.
I'm not even going to go there.
Oh, one minute. Let me just get this one before we. King Richard was slaughtered last night and now buried in Leicester. I don't think we'll see him again, mate. I think the word is smoked and had.
We're going to find him in a few hundred years under a car park.
It'll be on his soapbox somewhere, security in somewhere. But, you know, look, hopefully for his sake, it was the case that he was caught up in the minute and, you know, it got the better of him waiting and other stuff. I probably don't think that, but I'll give credit where credit's due. I won't have him offending a good friend of mine, though. You know, she knows what she's talking about. Same as Stu does, same as Danny. Don't be rude. You know what I mean? Just because she's whatever age, it don't mean you've got a valid argument. You couldn't back yourself up, mate. So, yeah. Obviously, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, get your comments in, and I'll see you all again live at 10 o'clock. But thank you to everybody that's joined us tonight. It's much appreciated, guys. Peace out. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.